They looked us dead in the eye after 2008 and said, "It's fixed. Never again. The system is safe." And we believed them. But here's what they never told you. The risk didn't disappear. It just moved, quietly, into the shadows, where nobody's watching. Right now, as you're sitting there watching this, there is a $1.5 trillion time bomb buried underneath the global economy. It's called private credit. And in just 5 years, it has silently doubled in size while everyone was distracted by crypto crashes and stock market drama. If you're the kind of person who's sick of financial news that gives you the headline but never the story behind the story, you're exactly where you need to be. We're building something real here, a community for people who want to see the actual architecture of how wealth moves, not the version they clean up for TV. Hit subscribe, stick around, because in this economy, the most expensive thing you can own is ignorance. So how did we even get here? After the 2008 crash, the big banks got burned. New regulations made it costly, almost painful for them to take big risks. And look, that sounds like a good thing, right? Rules, accountability, oversight. Except money doesn't care about rules. Money is like water. It always finds a way through. And the path it found led straight to private funds. Firms like Apollo, Blackstone, KKR, they walked right into the gap the banks left behind, started lending billions to companies that were too risky, too indebted, too messy for a traditional bank to touch. And nobody rang the alarm bell because nobody had to. Here's where it gets really uncomfortable. Unlike a stock or a bond, you cannot see what these loans are actually worth. There's no open market, no price discovery, no ticker tape. The funds just decide. They look at the loans they made and they decide on their own how to value them. They call it marking to model. I call it marking to imagination. It is a trillion-dollar game of trust us, built on a foundation of shifting sand. Think about what I'm actually saying here. The person who made the loan is the same person deciding whether the loan is still good. That's like a student grading their own exam and walking out telling everyone they got an A+. And because these funds aren't classified as banks, they don't report to the Federal Reserve. They don't hold cash reserves. They just keep lending, keep collecting fees, keep growing, quietly, in the dark. And now, the music is finally slowing down. Interest rates haven't just ticked up, they've spiked. The companies that borrowed this money, the ones already struggling, are starting to choke. We're seeing the rise of zombie companies. These are businesses that are technically dead. They don't make enough profit to even pay the interest on their debt, but they stay walking because these private funds keep rolling over the loans to avoid admitting a loss. But you can only outrun reality for so long. When one of these giants finally trips, it's not just a hedge fund manager in a glass office who feels the pain. It's the pension funds. It's the teacher, the nurse, the local government worker. It's the retirement accounts of people who were told they were investing safely. It's people who did everything right and still ended up inside someone else's gamble. This is why it feels rigged, because in a very real sense it is. The system isn't designed to protect you. It's designed to keep you calm and uninformed until it's too late to move. That weight you're feeling right now watching this, that's not anxiety, that's clarity. And it's exactly why I've spent so much time building something different. I've been taking everything I've learned about navigating these cycles, the signals, the strategies, the frameworks the wealthy actually use, and putting it into a project called My Road to Investing. This isn't a get-rich pitch. Think of it as a survival map, specifically built for the mess we're talking about right now. The link is right at the top of the description. Go check it out. Seriously, having your own roadmap is the only way to stop being a casualty of their shadow games. Before we keep going, I genuinely want to know what you think. Drop it in the comments. When this bubble finally pops, do you think the government steps in and bails out the shadow banks again? Or do they let ordinary investors take the full hit this time? I read every single comment. Let's get a real conversation going, because the more we talk about this openly, the harder it is for them to keep it buried. Because at the end of the day, the private credit bubble is just the latest version of an old story. It's opacity, it's greed, and it's a total lack of oversight. The system wasn't fixed. It was just reorganized to favor the few who know how to hide the bodies. And whether you realize it or not, you're already standing in the middle of the blast zone. The question isn't whether the system is broken, we know it is. The question is, how do you survive it? The people who actually thrive in these moments aren't the ones following the crowd into the next bubble. They are the ones who play a different game entirely. I just finished a deep dive on Warren Buffett's billion-dollar blueprint. It's the ultimate guide to what he calls the margin of safety. It is the exact psychological framework he used to build an empire while everyone else was busy blowing up bubbles exactly like like the one we just talked about. He didn't win by being faster or luckier. He won by having a better system that assumed the world would go crazy. If you want the actual antidote to this crisis, you need to watch that video next. I'll see you over there.